Concentrated within a mile radius of the Division, Ashland, and Milwaukee Avenue intersection, and embracing the location of the Polish Museum of America, is Chicago's earliest Polish settlement, Polish Downtown. It was the capital of American Polonia from the 1870s through the first half of the 20th century, and by 1890 was the city's largest Polish settlement, with almost half of all Chicago Poles living there. To its mostly Polish residents, however, the neighborhood became known as Stanisławowa Trojcowa, after St. Stanislaus Kostka and Holy Trinity, the two Polish Catholic parishes whose physical presence dominated the neighborhood. Though Polish downtown's physical size was compact, its influence was far-reaching. Nearly every Polish undertaking of any consequence in the United States during that time either started or was directed from this tight-knit neighborhood. Polish community building began with the founding of St. Stanislaus Kostka in 1867, long considered the mother church of Chicago's Polonia. Practically all older Polish parishes owe their origins to its first pastor, Reverend Vincent Barzinski of the Congregation of the Resurrection. The 1881 Patrick Keeley designed church prefigured the Polish Baroque style that was to become the hallmark of the Congregation of the Resurrection in its relentless parish building zeal. After an outcry from the community in the 1960s, construction of the Kennedy Expressway was diverted around it. The parish now serves a multi-ethnic congregation with a resurrectionist pastor and Sunday masses in English, Polish, and Spanish. A sanctuary of the Divine Mercy, based on Poland's St. Faustina, was dedicated in 2007 by Cardinal Francis George and is open 7 days a week for adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. In 1911, an entire block of 90 structures across the street from St. Stanislaus was wiped out for the creation of Pulaski Park, built by the West Park Commission as part of the Progressive Reform movement. The site plan was by Jens Jensen, who would become a renowned Prairie School landscape architect. English language and citizenship classes were held there to help Polish immigrants adapt to their new world. St. Stan's rival, Holy Trinity, was located just 2 short blocks away in 1873 and was led for decades by Reverend Kazimierz Sztuczko of the Fathers of the Holy Cross. The combined membership of St. Stan's and Trinity numbered over 60,000 in the early 1900s, and their spiritual, educational, cultural, recreational, and social organizations filled the lives of parishioners so completely that they never need leave the community. Today, the Polish mission of Holy Trinity is one of the few historically Polish national parishes still serving a Polish immigrant congregation. Established by Cardinal Joseph Bernardin in 1987, it is run by the Society of Christ Fathers from Poland, and all services are in the Polish language. The Catholic elementary and secondary schools these parishes founded are a tribute to the desire of immigrant Poles to preserve Polish Catholic culture for their children. The selfless dedication of Polish orders of religious women in staffing these schools, as well as founding hospitals, day nurseries, and homes for the aged, is inspiring. St. Stanislaus College opened in 1896 on St. Stanislaus Parish grounds as the first Polish college preparatory school. It was a Catholic school, a Polish school, a classical school, and a modern scientific school. It had public exams to show off what its students had learned and encourage other parents to send their sons to attend. Holy Trinity High School opened in 1910, and its 1928 building was designed by Polish architects Sapkowski and Piątek. It remains open in the neighborhood as a Catholic co-ed high school operated by the Holy Cross Brothers. Holy Family Academy was founded for young women by the Sisters of the Holy Family of Nazareth in 1886. Its guiding force was Mother Mary Loretta Lubowicka, called the Saint of Division Street, as she walked the neighborhood speaking to local children in their native languages. The order also staffed St. Mary of Nazareth Hospital and 28 parish schools. The school building from 1892 and that from 1927 now house Near North Montessori, a private pre-kindergarten through 8th grade program. The headquarters for almost every major Polish organization in America were clustered in Polish downtown, including the country's two largest fraternal associations, the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, the PRCUA, and the Polish National Alliance, the PNA. They provided economic security and social support for Poles arriving in a strange new land. The PRCUA, organized in 1873 for Polish Catholics, stressed religion first and was always affiliated with St. Stanislaus. It celebrated its 150th anniversary in 2013. The PNA, founded in 1880, was aligned with Holy Trinity, whose Catholic Poles were fueled with zeal for a free Polish nation. They are now located outside the neighborhood on the northwest side of Chicago. The national headquarters of the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America and the Polish Museum of America are among the few remaining Polish institutions in Polish downtown. The PRCUA building was designed by John Flizikowski in 1912 and was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 2011. The Polish Museum of America, established under Joseph Kania and dedicated in 1937, is housed within. Many artifacts from the New York World's Fair of 1939 that couldn't be returned to Poland because of the war were brought here as the core of the collection, including a massive stained glass window. The library and archives is actively used by the Polish Genealogical Society of America, as well as visitors from the United States and abroad. The earliest Polish businesses opened in the old storefront buildings that once lined Noble Street between St. Stanislaus Kostka and Holy Trinity. One was the Sherman Tourist Bureau. It was run by Anthony Sherman, considered the first permanent settler and founder of Chicago's Polonia. Later, Polish-owned stores, restaurants, banks, and businesses of all kinds took over commercial space up and down Milwaukee Avenue. Although the structures still surround a small plaza known as the Polish Triangle, only the Chopin Theater and Podhalanka restaurant remain as a visible reminder of that Polish character. Leaders of Chicago's Polonia, inspired by Polish exile statesman Ignacy Jan Paderewski, met during World War I in upstairs offices that overlook the Triangle, plotting the restoration of the Polish nation. When President Woodrow Wilson officially allowed Poles living in America to join the Polish army in France, one of the first 12 remaining centers opened at the PRCUA in 1917. Polish downtown was also the center of the Polish press in America. By 1910, 4 Polish-language daily newspapers were published here, as well as scores of literary and dramatic works, dictionaries, textbooks, and religious books. Various weeklies and dailies were started in the 1880s to win the minds and hearts of immigrant Poles, and papers were delivered across the US and to scores of foreign countries. The PRCUA sponsored several Catholic papers, beginning with Wiara I Ojczyzna, Faith and Fatherland. In 1897, it began publishing Naród Polski, which continues to this day as a semi-monthly newsletter. PNA-backed Alliance printers and publishers put out the Polish daily Zgoda and the Dziennik Związkowy, the Polish daily news. In 1942, Jan Smolski's 1920 Second Northwest Trust and Savings Bank, overlooking the Polish Triangle, was dedicated for the Zgoda, and delivery trucks often lined adjacent streets. Although no longer printed from the Triangle, the Polish Daily News has remained in publication since 1908 and is considered the oldest Polish language paper in the world. Some of the spirit of Chicago's Old Polonia lingers in the churches, institutions, and buildings still standing here. Look around and listen carefully. The spirit and energy of today's Polonia all began in Chicago's Polish downtown over 150 years ago.